One thing that's perfectly marvelous about the United States is we're the only country in history to actually try to do something about racism and to see if we can all get along together and see whether we can't see each other, regardless of skin color or religion or whatever, as worthy human beings. And no other country even considered this possible. We've had amazing success just in my lifetime, is a decline in racism in this country. And, in the treatment of Jews, treatment of blacks, and now there are politicians who see political capital and saying, hey, really, this is a white man's country when all is said and done. And George Bush is the first presidential candidate in my lifetime to win on a racist campaign. I was born in 1922, and with that Willie Horton business. Can you imagine if he'd done that with an Irishman?
No.
Or with a Jew?
No.
Or with a German? No, but he's going to protect us from the black people, and I think things are quite bad. What George Santayana said, in effect, that those who do not know history are doomed to repeat it. That's a paraphrase of what he said. And I think whether you know history or not, you're doomed to repeat it. And what is going on now is this country has gone bust. The banks are cleaned out. Insurance companies are cleaned out by crooks. And so our spirit is all down, and we are now doing what Mussolini did when Italy was in the same condition. Is Americans can stand tall again. Italians could stand tall again because they went and attacked Ethiopia, for God's sake. The Ethiopians, all they had was spears.
So what's going to force America to look at itself?
Nothing. That's why I say that Santayana said, he said, if you know history, maybe you won't have to repeat it. I think we're doomed to repeat it. And people say, you're a pessimist. Well, this isn't a spiritual matter. Why can't you be cheerful like somebody else who's always cheerful? Well, the news is too terrible now, and I pay attention to it. But for instance, New York City, where I lived a long time, it's going to turn into a Calcutta in a big hurry because they haven't repaired the bridges, they haven't repaired the sewers, they haven't repaired the water supply and all that. And now there isn't enough money to do that. I mean, Koch was saying, how am I doing, and all that. And he knew nothing about engineering, didn't care about putting any money into any of these bridges that bring trade in and out of. So that's permanent. Last night, I'm very proud of my state because it used to be a highly literate state. And I went to the greatest high school in the history of high schools and all that. And this town had lots of music, lots of books, lots of the arts. And my God, I go to find out last night that my state, Indiana, a wealthy state with a great cultural underpinning from the past, is third from the bottom on SATs. It's third from the bottom. Well, that's too late to fix. It's like the Williamsburg Bridge and like Brooklyn Bridge and like the Holland Tunnel and all that. It's too late to fix.
But still, we got to try to fix it.
Yes, we got to try to fix it, but it's like turning around a tanker. It's going to take.
Which we've seen examples of here recently in history.
But it takes a long time to turn a ship like that. And right now we are third from the bottom in SATs, which would indicate that we don't have a high degree of literacy. It's Arkansas and Mississippi who are below us. Can you imagine? And so how the hell did that happen? But anyway, we are turning out. All these students, I mean, they're coming out of the schools, whether the schools are any good or not, and they're not going to be able to read very well, apparently, if they do that badly on the exams. And they're all going to have to be taken care of anyway. What happened what, in Prince County, Virginia, I guess it is where Falwell has his headquarters. I think that's Lynchburg. But anyway, when they were told to integrate, they closed down the public school system entirely and set up a whole bunch of private academies. And so they have a lost generation down there of black kids who can't read and write, who can't do math, and they're there. And apparently, I would think, be a huge drag on the economy. But sure, we could straighten things out in 100 years, I guess. But I'm pessimistic just because the news is so awful, and you catch hell for noticing for
noticing that maybe something's not right in Denmark.
But third from the bottom in this marvelous state. Oh, how the hell did it happen?
So, with all this we've been talking about, what makes you feel that life is worthwhile, and what makes you happy?
Well, I lots of things, because I'm fine, I'm prosperous, I live well, and so do my friends. And what I'm a beneficiary of Indianapolis is when I came through, it was a swell public school system. All I had to do was buy my notebooks and my pencils, and I got this wonderful free education here. I assume this kind of country I was born into, that everybody got this kind of free education. So here I am, I got a swell suit, I got a nice house, I got a good car and all that, and I'm as literate as you can be. So I'm okay. What makes me happy is lots of things do. And there's much happiness in my life, but I think my country's in a hell of a shape, and I was startled to find out my state was.